Hello, everybody, and welcome to News and Views for May the 1st, 2025. You heard that right, May the 1st already, and heading into a weekend heat wave as well. So, far from me saying keep yourself warm out there, keep yourself cool out there this weekend. A lot of people have not got their fans on, got their air conditioning in yet, and we will be approaching 30 on the weekend. So or at least that's the last I heard. So have fun, but stay safe. Keep in mind, major production, NACI's major theater production, they do every 2 years, is coming up next week. So I want to make sure everyone knows you can only buy tickets online this year. I know it's on the posters and around, but you will not be able to go to the door and pay cash. It's all online. So make sure you are able to do that. And don't miss it. They're doing Aladdin Jr. It's going to be fantastic. It always is. So on the show today, as one can expect, we have some election coverage. First of all, we were down at Neepawa Middle School where they do a student vote every time there's an election. This is a federal program. They send actual ballot boxes to schools for students to do their own parallel election. And so Neepawa Middle School did this, and all classes in the middle school from grade 5 through 8 participated in this. So we were down there, we saw the process, even got a couple of exit polls with people talking about, how they're voting, why they're voting. And it's a really great experience for the students. And also we have the results of that election, which are similar to, but not identical to, the adult vote in this Riding Mountain region. We were also out at Dan Mazier's campaign office on election night. Dan Mazier was reelected in our area, which is Riding Mountain now. The boundaries were slightly different last time, but we're still considering that in a reelection. So we heard his victory speech, as well as he fielded some questions from reporters who were on site there. So we have that on the show today as well. And of course, congratulations to Dan. And we also have the Philippine Consular outreach. This is the second time they've done this in Neepawa, where they have a consul come out specifically to the town to help people with their issues, just because our Filipino population is so numerous here in town that they do this outreach. So we had Leeway Cabrera went out there, did an interview with them there, talking about what they do, how they do it. So if you have anything that's going on, whether it is serious, whether it's frivolous in our area, we would love to hear about it. We would love to cover it. Just let us know. You can reach us at 204-476-2639 or by email nactv@wcgwave.ca. Thanks and enjoy the show.
So what's happening here today is the student vote election. So we have an event at the Tiananmen Stadium. Saturday. It's our classes. So say somebody from an E class, like somebody from 5E. So the first class people over there is they go and they check out the names and you don't have to fill out. After the students have grabbed their ballots, they will line up there, and once there's an open a little area, the voting booth, people will guide them to the open area. After they're done voting, they will get the ballot signed by the ballot box, and they'll put their vote in the ballot box. And then they get a sticker.
And they're done.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it?
Yeah.
So is that the same as it would be for an adult going to vote today?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So just one more question for you guys. Why is it important that this is happening today?
I think it's because you get to make your say on who you want for the government and what you want. I think it's important because it prepares you. So when you're 18, when you get to vote, it prepares you so you can vote in the real election and make your own smoothly.
So what is your role here today?
We both are we're checking the student ID at the front.
Okay, so how does that work?
People line up at the at our table, and then we check their IDs and we point them to the direction that they're going by their class letter.
Okay, so what do you have to check? What kind of ID do they have?
They would have just like a piece of paper with their name and address and their
Where they live?
So
And is every student in the middle school voting today?
not every, because some of them might not have like a student ID. You're only supposed to like vote if you have an ID.
Okay, and so what is the importance of your job then?
To check if they're like the person that they are on their student ID, so they don't vote like twice.
Okay.
So when NMS opened, I think in 2019, that was the first year that we did it. Possibly in the fall of 2020. We didn't do it during COVID, but we did participate in the student vote when we were still part of NACI. Mrs. Young usually runs it in the high school, so we always voted, but now that we're at this school, we're in charge of taking the leadership of it.
And how did your class get to be in charge of leadership?
It's pretty important to me, so I try to make sure that my class always does it, but I was always encouraged by the high school on how well they did it, and I think it's really important. And it's part of our curriculum in grade 6.
And finally, what kind of preparation did you and the students do to get ready for Election Day?
Well, in grade 6, they learn all about the government and stuff that happens. So we had learned all about this throughout at the beginning of the year. But then when the snap election happened, we did a lot more digging into political parties and the candidates and the ridings. And so the kids are pretty knowledgeable about who is voting for what positions in the government.
All right, and then the voting here is open from when to when?
Period 2, so at 9:20 until almost noon today.
All right, and you're going to try to get everyone through?
We will, yeah. Yeah, and then these are official ballots, so the program for student vote is a federal program, so our votes actually go in to be tallied like the real votes, and so we'll get to see how our votes compare to the real election.
Amazing program, and thank you for all you do for it.
Oh, thank you very much.
How did you decide who to vote for?
How I decided is really just depends how what they would do for the country, how they would lower prices, but in the same way keep it where it's not gonna be too expensive, but then people aren't gonna get more money. So how I voted just based on a balance of everything.
Okay.
I based on a balance of the environment, pricing, tariffs, and just a good person that could deal with the tariffs, deal with the stress of the tariffs, and still be able to worry about the country.
Excellent.
I kind of want to do what's called the NDP, because we're talking about helping like stuff be like cheaper, and on the farm that's really kind of helpful. Just put it on cheaper.
That makes sense. All right, thank you very much. I'm just asking how you decided who to vote for.
How I decided. So how I decided to vote is like how each political party deals with the situation and how they do it. So it's
Was there an important issue for you?
yeah, like the climate crisis, yeah, and the tariffs.
Okay.
So, each political party has a different way of dealing with how they do it and how they would deal with U.S. tariffs. So, I chose the one that had the most creative but economically and environmentally stable idea, so that they would choose. So that's how I chose my option.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And of course, after attending the student vote, how could I do anything but go and cast my own vote today on election day?
Before we start, I just wanted to take a couple minutes to say a few words about Dan. I've been lucky enough to know Dan since he was the Conservative candidate, when he became the Conservative candidate in 2018. And we actually went to the old Chipperfields here in Minnesota, actually just down the street. So, and right from the start, you could tell that Dan was not in this for himself. It was about the community and the people here that are here tonight. So. For the past 6 years, I've had the privilege to work for Dan, and let me tell you, his job is not easy, despite what some people may think. It's long days and late nights and very little thank yous at the end of it all. So, well, also, many of you have noted that this riding is pretty conservative, and some have even said along the way that why are you here, Dan? You're fine. But, you know, this election, Dan could have coasted if he wanted to. A lot of MPs do, in fact, but Dan never has taken this riding for granted, and he understands something that many politicians forget, that support is not automatic and trust isn't given. So you have to earn it, and you have to keep earning it, and that's exactly what Dan has done. He showed up every day, he listened, and he worked hard. He worked harder than anyone else. And that's why tonight is so important, because in Dan Mazier, our constituency has something pretty rare. You have a member of parliament who works as hard as the people he represents. You have someone who believes in this region, who believes in rural Canada, and who will never stop fighting for them. So with that, it's my honor to introduce you, your re-elected member of parliament, Dan Mazier.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And this is all working good. Everybody can hear me in the back? All good? Sorry. Tonight, the people of Riding Mountain have spoken. From Swan River to Treehorn, from Minnedosa to Dauphin, from Rivers to Russell, and every small town, village, and farmyard in between. This campaign has been about fighting for rural Canadians. And tonight, rural Canadians made their voices heard loud and clear. They want a fighter for the community in Parliament. Thank you to the people of Riding Mountain for putting your trust in me once again. Representing you in the House of Commons has been the greatest honor of my life, and I'm humbled and grateful to serve as your member of Parliament. Throughout this campaign, I met with thousands of people across this riding. I listened to your hurt, your frustrations, and your hopes. I listened to your dreams for your families and for your communities. And I shared my vision for our region and for our country. Every conversation, every door I knocked, every gravel road I traveled reminded me why this fight matters. Our riding may be larger than Nova Scotia, but every community matters. That's why I did my absolute best to meet with you in your community, because I believe it's showing up matters. I promise to fight for you, to bring home powerful paychecks, affordable homes, safe streets, and an accountable government that works for the people. Tonight, I promise that I will do exactly that when I'm in Parliament. But none of this would have been possible without the incredible people who stood by me every step of the way. To our volunteers, thank you so much. For the thousands of phone calls, the countless signs put up along our roads, and the thousands of pieces of literature delivered across this vast riding. You were the engine that powered this campaign each and every day. To our donors, thank you for making it possible to reach every corner of this incredible region. Your support helped us cover every corner of this riding. And a special thank you to Brenda and Valerie, who kept the MP office open during this campaign to make sure people still got the help they needed, and then somehow found time after work to call voters and push this campaign forward. I could not have done this without you. Thank you, John Rodriguez. Where the heck are you? They're way back in the back. For serving as our official agent. You managed the finances of the campaign behind the scenes with true professionalism and dedication. To the campaign team, sitting in the back there. James, Kier, Dominic, Michael, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being there every day. Through snow, mud, and everything in between. You kept the campaign moving forward. You helped us knock over nearly 20,000 doors on this riding. You made sure we stayed focused. And you led a powerful get out the vote effort that helped bring this incredible victory home. I am deeply grateful for your incredible work, your countless hours, and your belief in what we're fighting for. Thank you. I want to especially recognize everyone who took turns being my wingman at the doors. There's kind of an old saying that, like, you know, Dan gets into a house and he's not coming out for a good amount of time. But here we are. You reminded me, having that person, one of the team members beside me all the time, you reminded me that while sitting down for coffee and cookies was tempting, we still had a lot of work to do. Meeting people face to face to earn their trust, that made all the difference. I truly believe we ran one of the best campaigns this region has ever seen, and you should be all very proud of tonight's accomplishment. Thank you again. And of course, none of this would have been possible without my wife. After 3 campaigns, you're still here beside me. Through all the mud, spring mud, the dirty boots, the black coats brushed against the truck, you made sure I was ready to face the day. Boy, we had some good discussions about that. You've been my greatest supporter, my best advisor, and my closest friends. After 40 years, I know I'm still a work in progress, and I'm so thankful for your patience and encouragement. Thank you. Tonight, as I look around the room, I feel more inspired than ever. The conversations I've had, the people I've met, and the communities I've visited have renewed my passion to serve this beautiful region in Parliament. We have so much untapped potential here. From the forests that we log in Swan River, to the pork we export in Neepawa, to the shotgun shells that are manufactured in Carberry. Our region is what the world is looking for. As your member of Parliament, I will work every single day to unlock its potential, to bring home powerful paychecks for the working people, to make life affordable again for families, to rebuild safe streets in our communities, to restore trust in government that finally puts Canadians first, and to never stop fighting for rural Canada and rural Canadians. Tonight, we celebrate, but tomorrow, the real work begins. Thank you, Riding Mountain, for believing in our future. Let's get to work together. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. The mandate this time as well is better than it was in 21. Just your thoughts on the amount of support you got from the riding and the fact that it's sort of, again, it's given you a clear mandate.
Yeah. It was such a different campaign in 21. Of course, it was a little. Sorry. Oh, please meet you. What's your name? Abdul. Please meet you. I'm Dan. So yes, as far as it was mentioned here earlier today, like, Dad, you're sorry, but you take nothing for granted. And it is those. When I found when I first started my team, and I saw it a lot in 21, is people don't know what your government does, and they're really, you've got to build that relationship with it. And you have to go back and meet people in the communities. Like, there's a lot of politicians, like I was commenting earlier before, a lot of them don't understand normal person goes through to put food on their tables, right, for their, and provide for their families. A lot of politicians don't understand that. A lot of governments definitely don't. So when you can't get grounded, I always say I come home to get back to the reality of not the Ottawa bubble. It's you know, it does. You knock on over 20,000 doors, you get a real sense of what's this home really feels like.
Did anything change for you in terms of how you approached this election, in terms of door to door, in terms of reaching out to the voters?
And just listening, what I think more so, it really did give me an opportunity in one of my first campaigns to just to get to listen to people. People were opening up. If you remember back in 21, I commented that, like, even when you went to knock on a door in 21, it was a lot still COVID, right? Like, we were right in the middle of it. There wasn't a lot of happy people around then, right? They weren't very happy with any government. They weren't happy, like, no matter, you had to pick a side and all that. I had a lot more conversations. It didn't really matter what you were thinking. It was like, there was lots of good conversations about policies and what we all thought about what was best for the region.
Did what they have to say to you change comparatively to 21 or 19? What were their concerns that they were bringing forward?
Affordability now. People cannot get over the amount of debt that this government, the Liberal government, the last decade has piled up, right? It is astronomical, and what they're suggesting that they're going to do, put on another $240 billion. And the numbers are just horrendous, and people are feeling that affordability pinch, like they did, without a doubt. And that was, even if you're 70 years old and you're worried about your grandchildren's future, I heard more comments on that than I've ever heard in my entire life. People are truly scared for their younger people's future.
And your thoughts on, as we stand right now, I think it's about 22 additional seats for the Conservative Party. Your thought on the increases they made on a national level?
Yeah, and I think people were finally seeing like it was time for a change. I think again that goes back to our leader, and you know, he spent an incredible amount of time. You don't want to talk about a person that put us all into it, his schedule, and the part that really impressed me about the national campaign and why people are paying attention to it is how he took time as well. After every rally, stop and listen to the stories. He used to tell us stories about people and like what he heard out in all parts of Canada. Encourage us to go out and listen as well. So we'll see. The night's not over, and there's a lot of Canada yet to cover.
Are there lessons that you've learned from this election?
I think, don't take anything for granted, because it's not, people, just every conversation you always do learn something different, right? Like, I mean, a different, what makes people tick. Don't judge a book by its cover. I really learned, you know, you always think, you got a priest to see the ocean when someone opens the door, right? Or when you go up to a house and that, but you don't know what's going on in their lives. You really don't have a good grasp until you have a conversation with them. And I think that's what I learned the most. It took me many years to figure that out. And it's amazing what you can learn and grow as a person and better represent people when you understand what is their issue.
Now, whichever ways the national election goes, right? What do you think this would mean for your party?
I don't know. I don't know which way it's going to go. It's pretty tight. They're coming back.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So you know, minority, majority. I know minority governments are. It's always like pins and needles because you don't know when the next writ's going to drop and away you go, right? Majorities. I can't recall the last time we were in a majority. I guess 19. I don't even know what it was. All I know is minority governments, right? And there's lots of moving parts when it comes to once we're done filling up the seats. So we'll see what all happens. I guess we got some more colleagues in the House and see even how those balances show up. But no, it's going to be and even every parliament, there's new people come and other people go, right? So there's it's like creating two new sports teams or several new sports teams, right? So who's going to play? How do you play offense and defense? Like there's lots of comparisons you can do with that when trying to form two type of teams that are going to get ready to basically challenge each other.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Kami ngayon sa second year ng Consular Outreach dito sa Neepawa. So kasama po namin ngayon ang Philippine Honorary Consul in Winnipeg at ang Philippine General Consul Toronto.
Deputy Consul General.
In Toronto. Okay
Yes.
po.
Good morning, magandang umaga po sa lahat ng nanonood. To all our viewers, ako po si Deputy Consul General Kerwin Orville Tate from the Philippine Consulate General in Toronto. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Ronald Upina, Honorary Consul po sa Winnipeg since 2013. And nandito ulit tayo sa Neepawa, Manitoba.
Yung Philippine Consulate General po, kami ang representante, the representative of the Philippine government dito sa Toronto. And nagbibigay po kami ng serbisyo para sa ating komunidad, sa ating mga kababayang Pilipino, katulad ng passports, pagnonotaryo ng mga dokumento, para sa mga dayuhan po na nais bumisit sa Pilipinas. Nagbibigay din po kami ng mga visa. And marami pa pong ibang tulong ang binibigay namin sa ating mga kababayan at sa ating mga komunidad. Meron din po tayong opisina doon na namamahala sa trade and economics. Yung DTI po, yung Department of Trade and Industry ng Pilipinas. At para sa ating mga manggagawang Pilipino na nasa labas ng bansa, na tinatawag nating overseas Filipino workers, meron din po tayong opisina ng Department of Migrant Workers. So may Migrant Workers Office po and OWA, yung Overseas Workers Welfare Administration. Meron din po tayong opisina sa building na kung saan kami naka-locate. At meron din po tayong representante ng Social Security System. So ay yung tinatawag nating SSS, nandun din po sila nagbibigay serbisyo sa ating mga kababayan. So marami po kaming idinudulot na mga serbisyo at ngayon po nandito kami sa Neepawa dahil bahagi ng aming serbisyo ay yung lumabas at magbigay ng tulong sa mga komunidad natin, sa mga kababayan natin na nandito po sinasakop ng aming opisina. Kabilang na po kasi yung Manitoba, yung buong Manitoba sa mga lugar na pinibigyan namin ng serbisyo. So, nandito po kami every year po nagbibigay kami ng serbisyo during our Consular Outreach Mission. At the same time po, nais ko na rin pong i-promote yung mga serbisyo na binibigay ng ating honorary consulate. So, i-turn over ko po yung kay Honorary Consul Ronald Upina.
So, ang Honorary Consulate Winnipeg po is we are reporting sa Consul General ng Toronto. Consul General ng Toronto is our supervising post, headed by Consul General Angelica Escalona, Deputy Consul General Kerwin Tate, and we have two more officers, Consul RJ and Consul Trina. Dito po sa Manitoba, I'm heading the consulate, and part of the consulate is consular services. Itong consular services is outreach. Merong assistance to national, and most we are focusing on the economic diplomacy dito sa Winnipeg and surrounding Manitoba.
So, salamat po. Doon po sa last year po, yung first outreach dito sa Neepawa, kamusta naman po ang naging resulta po?
I think it was very successful at saka ito ang ito ang version 2. We have to do it 2.0 dahil due to the popular demand, based on the feedback that we're gathering from the sa mga applicants. Very appreciative silang lahat dahil access is main reasons sa kanila, and we're actually extending that access, bridging that access, and now we are conducting how many more passports, notarized document, legal documents, and I think there are a couple of people that is actually participating on our online voting. It so happened that this is the seasons of what do you call that?
Election.
Elections in the Philippines is a, how do you call it? Midterm or
Midterm
election in the Philippines, and we're actively engaging with Filipino who can vote to still vote while we're here in Neepawa.
Yeah. So ito po yung addition po dun sa last year na wala po kasi hindi pa naman po election last
Yes,
time.
pero po last year we are collecting registrants who is eligible to vote. We are still gathering those registrants so that they can vote on the actual elections. But last year we have registrations.
So aside po from the registration and actual voting, ano pa po yung ibang mga serbisyo na available mo today?
Today po, unfortunately, we don't have SSS, but this is much more on the consular services, particularly only in consular services.
So, marami pong marami po tayong aplikante for passports, marami po tayong aplikante for notarials, marami po tayong aplikante for dual citizenships, and yung iba pa po naming mga serbisyo sa civil registry, yung i-register yung birth, sometimes registry yung reports of marriage. And of course, like binanggit ni Honorary Consul Opina, meron din po tayong kasama dito na mag-aasikaso sa mga botante na nais bumoto dito sa halalan na nagaganap po ngayon, which is happening right now and which will continue until May 12. So, sa mga kababayan natin na rehistrado and hindi nakapag-enroll, tinutulungan po namin sila to enroll in voting, and kasama na rin po yung pagboto. Diretso na pag-vote sa election, tinutulungan din po namin sila. So, it's a wide variety of services that we are offering today, and judging from the numbers that are here this morning, and we expect that this will be throughout the day, marami pong nag-a-avail ng mga serbisyo. So, ibig sabihin, yung pagpunta namin po dito, tuloy-tuloy. Every year we will make it a point to come here and deliver services to the Neepawa Filipino community.